Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be talking to recap yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core picks for tonight, and then talking about my top GPP stacks for tonight's contest as well. But without further ado, we'll get into it with a recap of yesterday's picks. We're going to start off with Corbin Burnes, $10,800, got to 55 points. He was a hit. He was tied for the top pitcher on yesterday's slate. Him and Max Fried both had 55 points overall, so he obviously was a very good play. Then we had Colton Wong, his teammate at $2,500, got the 13 points, so he was a hit as well. He ended up being the sixth second baseman on the slate, but due to the nature of his price tag, still a very good hit. Then we had Yandy Diaz, $2,500 as well, 12.2 points for him, so he was a hit. Technically, he was the seventh overall first baseman on the slate. I think he was about the eighth third baseman on the slate. But, a guy that had some versatility there, cheap price tag, 12.2 points. We'll take that out of him every single time. Then we had Bo Bichette at $3,400. I said you could play him. You could play Xander Bogaerts. That looked like a game that was going to have a lot of runs scored, and it just did not end up happening, which is really, really unfortunate, honestly. But Bo Bichette at $3,400, he got 0 points, 0 for 4 yesterday. Just kind of chalking that one off. He does have pretty good history again today as well, so if you want to go right back to the well, you can definitely do that, although he is not in my core for today. Then last but not least, we had Christian Yelich at $2,900, the former MVP himself. 0 points, 0 for 4 day. Just kind of unfortunate there overall. So we had 3 good hits, 2 guys that just missed win the win 0 for 4 yesterday. It's kind of the nature of MLB DFS in a nutshell, is you can have some really good hits, and then you get the guys that have the offers. So we'll try to get more of a 4 for 5 or a 5 for 5 day today, though. And with that being said, we'll move straight over to my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position. I think there's definitely a lot of guys you can go with today if you really want to do so. I went with Chris Bassett here at $10,500. Probably a little bit heftier price tag than I like to pay for him, but due to the nature of how he's pitched this year, going against the Giants, not really a team that scares me. Definitely have a lot of interest in him. If you want to pay up the extra $300 for Carlos Rodon, you definitely could do that. I think it's a little bit tougher matchup on his end, though. Go down to Logan Gilbert at $9,500 if you want to. Shohei Ohtani at $9,100. There's a lot of guys right around $9,000 if you want to go down to that range as well. Then we move down to second base with Gleyber Torres. Obviously, he can play second base. He can play shortstop. He's $2,400. Really only getting about 5 points per game so far this season, but there is a good history here against Eduardo Rodriguez, where he is 8 for 23 with 3 home runs. And Gleyber Torres starting to pick it up just a little bit, so definitely have a lot of interest in him today. The Yankees are one of my favorite stacks for tonight's slate as well. Then we have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, his teammate at $2,400. He's averaging a little bit more points than Gleyber Torres at 6.7, but he does also have very, very good history against Eduardo Rodriguez, 6 for 13 with a home run, so definitely have interest in both those guys tonight. Then we move down to Ketel Marte at $2,900. Kind of a slow start to the season for him, if we're being honest, but $2,900, cheap price tag there. Feels a little too cheap at this point. I'm willing to kind of take that dart throw. He's had a couple decent games here and there throughout the season. Maybe this one's another one tonight against Eric Fedde. Fedde's pitched a little bit better this year than he has typically, so he's kind of in... he's kind of due for that blow-up game, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's tonight. Although Ketel Marte is 0 for 2 for him, but that's a very, very, very small sample size at the same time. Ketel Marte can also play second base. Going back to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he can play shortstop and third base. So we got some versatility in this lineup. And then speaking of versatility, we also have Whit Merrifield at a very reduced price tag at $2,700. Kind of a slow start to the season as well, so same thing as Ketel Marte. I like taking some shots on these guys today where they have reduced price tags. Maybe the ownership's not quite as high. It makes yourself a little bit different, especially if you're playing in GPPs. Going against Chris Paddock today, no history versus him. Whit Merrifield can also play second base and outfield. So a lot of versatility in this lineup. Definitely an interesting lineup overall. We're taking a couple shots on some of these guys with the reduced price tags, but hopefully they pay off tonight. I think another guy that you can definitely look at a reduced price tag is Joey Gallo on the outfield as well. Kind of if you're going with that Yankee stack, he is 3 for 8 versus Eduardo Rodriguez, and I believe he has 2 home runs. So a guy that really hasn't hit the best this year, so maybe that's something you can take advantage of tonight. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $14,100 remaining, just over $3,500. So you can pay up for a couple guys. Not quite as strong of as a pay up day as compared to some other days. So just keep that in mind. Maybe try to do a little bit more balanced build. If you want to pay up just a little bit over some of these guys that I do have listed here in the core, that's definitely a viable option as well. But with that being said, we're going to talk about my top GPP stacks. Unfortunately, I don't have my article up at this point in time. Had a couple issues with my email and emailing it over to have it posted for earlier today, but these are the top GPP stacks that I do have. So I had the Blue Jays going against Nick Pivetta. A lot of these guys have pretty good history against him. Hasn't pitched the best so far this season, so definitely a lot of interest there once again. And then we have the A's going against Jordan Lyles. Pretty much anytime Jordan Lyles is pitching, I'm going to say to stack the team against him because more times than not, it's probably going to work out favorably. And then the Yankees going against Eduardo Rodriguez. Already highlighted some of these guys that do have good history versus him. I think you can pretty much play anybody in this Yankees lineup today. And then last but not least, we have the Angels going against Jake Odorizzi. Some of these guys have decent history versus him. He hasn't pitched the best so far this year, so maybe that's something we can take advantage of tonight. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as my top GPP stacks for today, April 20th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5, whether somebody from the top GPP stacks that I did list out, or whether it's somebody completely different. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's MLB, whether it's NBA, whether it's NFL, and now USFL as well. And like I mentioned in previous videos, I'm hoping to get some USFL DFS content out by some point on Friday. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.